Title: We're moving in on Sunday, my wife's brother who nearly destroyed my life, grinned. Your wife already approved. I reached for my phone. Start: He leaned against the doorframe, smiling like he owned the place. We're moving in on Sunday, he said. Your wife already approved. I didn't answer. My hand slipped into my pocket, thumb brushing the phone screen. A sharp ping followed. Motion detected, trespassing recorded. The cameras were already watching him. I didn't need to say a word. Her brother. For years, I treated him like blood. Holidays, late-night rescues when he was drunk, even lending him money I knew I'd never see again. I told myself he was family, rough edges and all. He laughed loud, lived recklessly, and always said I was too careful. He wasn't wrong. I was careful. That's why he underestimated me. When my wife begged me to give him a chance, I did, again and again. I wanted her happy. I wanted peace. But peace was the one thing he couldn't stand. It started with whispers. Phone calls ending when I entered the room. My wife, eyes darting away, her smile stiff. And him, too comfortable in my house, too sure of himself. The night I found out was quiet. I'd installed a secondary feed to the cameras, one only I had access to. At 1:13 a.m., while I sat in the study pretending to sleep, the alert came in. I watched her let him in. I watched them whisper in the kitchen, her hand brushing his arm. His grin, her silence. That was when pain turned cold. Not rage, not despair, something sharper. A plan. I didn't confront them. That would have been sloppy. Instead, I listened. I watched. I tracked. Every text she thought she deleted, I already mirrored. Every message he sent about debts, gambling, and the men he owed, I archived. I hired a forensic accountant, quietly, anonymously. Every transfer, every stolen dollar from his mother's account, every fake business venture he pitched, it all surfaced. I didn't tell her, not yet. I let her believe I was blind, distracted. I even let her sleep beside me while I memorized the sound of her breathing and wondered how many lies it carried. And then I built the trap. First, the property. I shifted the deed quietly into a trust under my name only. She had signed the papers months ago without reading, thinking it was routine insurance. It wasn't. The house was mine, legally locked. Second, the finances. I drained the joint accounts, slowly, subtly, redirecting funds into an account she didn't know existed. She thought she had security. In truth, she had nothing. Third, the brother. I fed his creditors breadcrumbs, just enough for them to circle, hungry. And when he bragged, "We're moving in," I smiled inside. The wolves were already at his heels. Sunday came. He showed up early, a duffel bag slung over his shoulder, my wife behind him carrying boxes. Her eyes didn't meet mine. "You said it was fine," she muttered. I only nodded and opened the door. He strutted in like he belonged, collapsing onto my couch, feet on the table. "Feels good already," he laughed. That was when the knock came. Not neighbors, not friends, debt collectors, 3 of them, hard faces, harder voices. His laughter died. "You can't be here," one of them said, grabbing his arm. "You owe us." He stammered, tried to push it off as a mistake, but they had paperwork, receipts, contracts, signatures, all authenticated, courtesy of me. My wife's face drained of color. "What is this?" she whispered. I sat calmly. "This is your brother's life catching up with him, and yours." She turned to me, wide-eyed. "What do you mean mine?" I tapped the folder on the table. Inside, printouts of her messages, her late-night rendezvous, her whispered promises to him about our future in my house. Every secret, every word. Her lips parted, trembling. No denial came, only silence. The collectors dragged him out, his shouts echoing down the driveway. She reached for me, desperate. I was confused. I didn't... Stop. My voice was quiet, steady. I handed her another document, divorce papers, signed by me weeks ago, filed that morning. She staggered back, eyes searching my face for some crack, some mercy. She found none. "You betrayed me," I said, "both of you. I gave you loyalty, and you sold it cheap. Now you both get what you wanted, each other, and nothing else." Her knees buckled. She dropped onto the couch he had just polluted with his presence. Her hands shook, clutching papers she couldn't undo. That night, I poured myself a drink and walked the perimeter of my house, silent, fortified, mine alone. The cameras blinked red in the dark, faithful witnesses. They would replay every betrayal if I wanted, but I didn't need to anymore. The images were carved into me, scars I would carry but never suffer from again. I thought of him, cornered, desperate, swallowed by the same greed that defined him. I thought of her, abandoned, stripped of comfort, left with only regret. And I thought of myself, finally free. I raised the glass to the cold night air and whispered, not with rage, not with grief, but with calm certainty, "Justice doesn't need noise, only precision." Then I drank, and for the first time in months, I slept without watching the cameras.